We're now on to our 4th iteration of this canopy, and we have done months and months and months of research to get to what I believe is the best camping kitchen setup I've ever had. Okay, so this is part 2 of the revamped canopy build. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, jump back in there. There's a link up here where we built the bench last week. Because the problem with the old setup was every time I wanted anything out, I couldn't just grab it. There was too much stuff in the way. There was a big panel here. So anytime I wanted to get anything out of the shelves in the old kitchen, I had to lift the bench, or I had to open it all up, and it was just a hassle and it was heavy. So I've got rid of it, I've sold it. What it's allowing me to do now is look at this whole canopy space and see what I want to do. Now, I have spent the last week looking at canopy groups. I've looked at Marketplace, seeing what's for sale. I've jumped onto Pinterest and see what people have done. I've gone to lots of websites to see who makes what, where and how and what it looks like. It's been a mission. Anyway, I think I've found a solution that's going to fix up our problems. Let me explain what we're doing, because I'm the first person to want to build stuff. I did have a go at the passenger side of the canopy about 2 versions ago. I built some drawers because I thought that would be the best, because I wanted to put the fridge slide in beside it and I wanted it all to one level. So I built this whiz-bang drawer system. It wasn't square, it was a nightmare, and it actually cost me probably as much as just going out and buying a drawer. Anyway, so I'm not doing that this time because I know my skills limitations, and drawers, just a little bit above my pay grade. But there is a couple of things I do want to customize with these, because I really don't want to just whack them in. So these are from Dunn & Watson. I've done a pile of research, and these are kind of the best 2 items that I've come up with, both from Dunn & Watson. This is the camp kitchen. I'll open it up and let you have a look later. And the pantry. Now, this is 250 wide. This is 400 wide, and I think it's 400 tall. I want to bring everything onto the kitchen side, so it's all together as it should be. So I'm going to dismantle these into an inch of their lives. I'm going to take all the runners out. I'm going to take everything apart, shelves out, bungees off, everything. Sand them back, etch them. And we're going to hit them with the 2K black satin finish paint. It's funny because the old camp kitchen, everything that came out of it, plus the air fryer and the camp oven, are sitting here on the floor. So my mission today is pack it and see how much space actually I have saved, or whether the old camp kitchen, as awkward and clumsy as it was, actually held a bit more, because it was bigger. So I'm going to get dismantling. One last thing I forgot to mention, the bench. So I trial fitted these in at Dunn & Watson when I picked them up, and they do come out a fair bit further than the fridge. They actually just fit inside this, but the bench doesn't. And I really do like this bench now, and I think it's going to be so cool as part of the setup, because when I show you all this coming out, it's going to be like an L-shaped island bench. It's going to be amazing. But I've now got to rethink the storage for this. And if you go back to the video last week of me building this, I said the best place to store it would be in at the back here. And I still stand by that. So it's going to be a big job, but I think I'm going to move, because I do have a bit more room on this side now, because those 2 aren't as wide as the old kitchen was. So I can move everything up probably about 150 or 200 mil, but I'm going to have to cut the space frame on the other side and get new knuckles and rebuild some of that and make it so it's going to be better. But I've given myself a bit of work, but I think it's going to be massively worth it. One of the most important things when you're doing stuff like this is to make sure you label stuff. So these 2 runners have come completely off the main carcass. Label each one what they are. So this is upside down. So this is going to be the drawer runner left hand side. That way, when we're putting it back together again, we know what's what. Right, dismantling, done, better. Now, what I've done here, 800 grit, wet and dry, probably just going to dry sand it, just to scuff it, just to key it so the new paint will grip. Then I'm going to get the degreaser from Salty Captain and degrease the whole thing, all of it. Then I'm going to hit it with an etch. So what an etch will do, that'll stick to the alloy, and then the paint will stick to this. And then we've got WePro, this is satin black. This is a 2K paint, so it's like a kind of like Raptor coating, but not. I don't really understand. The bloke in the shop told me this is going to last longer than anything else, so that's what I bought. So it's kind of like the Raptor, where you've got to punch the button at the bottom to release the hardener, and then you've only got a certain amount of time to spray before it goes off. So my thoughts are, first can, first coat, second can, second coat. That's that. And then we start assembling again. So time to get sanding. Okay, so everything's been sanded, and then I didn't actually have any degreaser, so I had some old brake cleaner there, so I just had everything with some brake cleaner, dried it all off when he helped me, and then I got out some masking tape. I'm just not spraying inside some of these areas because I want to keep them natural, because there'll be stuff in and out of them and they'll get scratched. So I'm just going to mask off this drawer and that drawer. Everything's done, so I'm going to get the etch on it and hit it with an etch, let it dry, and then we'll start painting. So with the etching done and dried, it's time to start spraying the black 2K paint. That's everything painted, so we'll let everything dry. In the meantime, I'm gonna go and start looking at this canopy, move this fridge across a bit while this is all drying. Coming around this side of the canopy, this is where, so the drawer's ending here, so I'm gonna shorten this frame that went around it. I'm gonna take this shelf off, and then I'm gonna just cut this box section here. I'm just gonna shorten this whole bench that much. I'm gonna measure this all up and start shortening things up. There's a fair bit going on behind the camera that you didn't see, but managed to get this out. Right, hopefully, oh, we'll need this bit. I'm gonna take these bits off. All right, after a little bit of persuasion, we managed to get the broken ones out, and I've got all new ones in. So this, hopefully, all right, I may have stuffed up with my calculations here, and I've made that a bit short. That's okay, because luckily I did buy a second one, so no harm done. I can just measure that a bit longer. Right, so I've finished this side. I'm gonna have to wait for Andy to extend the 240 for me, because that's his thing. In the meantime, I'll go and get cracking and put all the new drawers and pantry in. So one of the things I wanted to do, all the black's done, but there's a bit of space on top of this when it goes into the canopy, and this is where I thought we could put the air fryer and the camp oven. So what I want to do is get these tie down rails. I'll bolt them into the top here, and then I can put the air fryer into my camp oven and lash them down. So that maximizes that space. So I'm going to drill these in, screw them with nylock nuts. That'll be done. Then I've got to drill the floor. I'm going to put 6 holes in the floor. Then I'm going to start putting everything into the canopy, and we'll see it coming together. Happy days. You know what I've done? I have put it on upside down. These are supposed to be on the top. Wouldn't that rot your socks? Anyway, that doesn't matter, because I can use those holes to screw down into the floor. Right. All right, with the base bolted down, now it's time to put the pantry on. All right, so we've got the runners on the right side this time. And thanks to Ando, he's pop riveted everything in there for me. And that goes in like that. Right, let's bolt this in. So it is the next day, and everything's dry and in and looking good. I'm really happy with this. So we're nearly there. What I want to do is, I love the one-handed opening of the pantry. When I was in Bunnings the other day, I got a bit of 20/20 angle that's black. So I'm actually going to make both of these one-handed opening. Just cut it to length, drill a hole, pop rivet. Then it's a lot easier to open with one hand. And then I'm going to carpet the top here where we put the tie-down runners, just so it'll not get scratched as much. this is just a 20 with 20 by 1.5 mil angle from Bunnings. So I'm just gonna cut it to length here and pop rivet it through. Do that on both of these, and then it'll be a bit nicer looking. All right, off we go. One-handed opening, done. Very happy with that. Just makes such a difference. So that's that done. I've got this bungee cord on there. Just gonna leave it tonight. I'm gonna vacuum it tomorrow, let that glue set on the carpet. Then I'm gonna start putting everything back in and finally put the table in. So I'll come back when everything's finished and we'll have a look at the finished product. We're all done. It's the next day, sun's out. This is probably the first time I've set this up. I just wanna see how long it's gonna take to set it up first, then we'll talk about what's in it. Stop the clock. 18 seconds, pull up the setup, done. Let's go through what we've got. So I've put in this top bit here, all pots and pans, plates, saucers, all like Glad wrap and baking paper, roll of chucks here, spices, stubby coolers, tea, coffee, all that sort of stuff. In this bit, cups, chopping boards, knives, forks, roll of cutlery, and then the induction obviously there. On here, chopping board, but underneath it is our sink for when we want to wash up. And then in the pantry is our normal pantry stuff. What I like about this one is you can load the front up with, this is what stuffs me in the old one. I couldn't get anything to set up right. There was no provision for it. This does. Kitchen roll holder there. And then everything that was in the old setup is all in this, but I've got heaps of room to spare. But what I really like about this is everything's on this side now. So the air fryer, the camp oven, everything's here. And I've got a bit more room down the side here to put like the welding gloves for when we're moving wood around the fire. And that is my new camping setup. As Andy says, I really like it, Dad. You'll be giving it to me in a few months when you get sick of it. And I'm like, I don't think I will. Well, who knows? I have thought of maybe putting the induction, maybe mounting it in there, but I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. Or I can just leave it up there and plug it in from there into the inner drive this way. So plenty of options. Now we just need to go camping. Yamba's our next trip in about 3 weeks. I can't wait to put this to the test and have a few beers on that bench over there. Anyway, if you like this, please do subscribe. It really helps us out. Shoot us a like. I'd love to hear some comments about what you think, and we'll see you in the next one.